Hey everybody,
Hello.
we're back, episode 8 already.
Yep.
I can't believe it. We have fun stories to tell. We are going to share our trips to New York last year.
And this is the most controversial thing I'll ever say on Al Gore's internet is that despite being born and raised in the Chicago area, um, I actually really like New York. I would go there pretty much at the drop of a hat. It's one of my favorite places to go.
And before last year, I had never been to New York City in my whole entire life. And last year we got to go 3 times,
Last year we
which
went
is
three
kind of
times.
crazy. 2 is just for him, and then I got to go as a +1.
That's right. Yeah. Well, the first trip I was asked to go talk at an American Bar Association conference. They have a section that deals with solo lawyers and small firms, and that's kind of my background before I came to the firms to Thomson Reuters. So they asked me to, with another lawyer, give a little talk about what we do. So that happened to be on a Friday in early May.
And he was like, "Do you want to come with?"
Yeah,
And I was like, "Yes, I do."
It just made no sense for me to go there on a Friday and either have to fly back late Friday night or stay over and come back on Saturday. So we flew out Thursday night. Flew to New York Thursday night. I did my deal during the day on Friday, and then we just hung out Friday night, Saturday, flew back on Sunday.
Yeah, it was amazing. And since I had never been there before, obviously didn't know really much about where we were staying or things like that. But being from Chicago, I don't mind hustle and bustle. I can
Right.
walk anywhere by myself. And in fact, the first day when you had to leave, we came out of the hotel and there was like a street fair. The
Right.
street was closed
Right.
off right in front of our hotel, so he had to go to his work thing. And I was like, "This is amazing." There was like street vendors and food carts and everything. So I started there and then continued walking around, ended up at Chelsea Market, which was amazing, and just kind of like sightseeing
Which
by myself.
which is a long way from where we were because we were staying at Lexington and 42nd or something like that, Midtown East. Um, and so that was a long haul.
It was. I actually took a cab part way because I got lost a little bit and I was going in the opposite direction and kept walking and then realized that I was never gonna I don't think in the right direction, so I ended up getting a cab and then he ended up turning around going the opposite way. I was like, thank goodness I did that. But we love walking when we go
Yeah.
places. Actually all 3 trips we walked the majority of the time.
Well, and obviously depending on the weather and where you're trying to go, Manhattan is very walkable, generally speaking. And if you get tired of walking, you can always get a cab.
Right.
So it works.
And we
out
always
really
had
well.
good luck getting a cab too. So that was
Right.
kind of funny too, because most people say like, oh, it's so hard to catch a cab when you're coming out of a show. And everywhere we went, if we needed a cab, we got one
Yeah.
within minutes. So that was kind of fun.
So that was pretty cool. That time we did a very touristy thing. I mean, it's all, to us, it's all touristy.
Right.
But we that trip on that Saturday. So my conference was on the Friday, and on that Saturday we walked the High Line, which
And it was
is
a beautiful day.
yeah, and it's cool. It's if you're not familiar with it, it's an elevated path on an old railroad line that you pick it up around 10th Avenue, so pretty far on the west side of Manhattan. You can see the river, and you can't see Bruce, but you can see
Yeah.
New Jersey from there. And then it goes. I think it's like a couple of miles.
It's definitely a couple miles,
1.7 miles. I think it's like 3.5 miles if you walk up and back or down and back. We should have looked up where you pick it up from the north end. I want to say it's around 39th Street, but I could be wrong about that. And we didn't actually walk the whole way. We walked most of the way, and we got off in Chelsea and walked around there. And
And then
lunch.
we were like hungry and we were trying to find a place to go and to eat. And then we just happened to walk in to a place. And as soon as we opened up the door, it was like this beautiful like trees on the inside and lights and all different restaurants and things. We had an awesome burger. there, which I remember, which was delicious.
We also went to an offhand. I can't recall whether it was that trip or a different trip, but we went to that gigantic Starbucks.
We did.
Which is also in Chelsea. We went in to use the bathroom. We didn't get coffee. But now there's one in Chicago that's similar to that. But
right, which I still have never been to. But
the hugest Starbucks on earth, or might as well be. So that was a great trip. I mean, it was short because we really only had Saturday to do stuff, but it was a lot of fun. And then we went, we have a good friend who's a musician who we've known for some time, Garland Jeffries. We've mentioned him before.
Yep.
We'll have to tell the story of how we became friends with Garland Jeffries another time, but we've seen him in Chicago many, many times. He's from New York, writes a lot of songs about New York. And we found out in the spring of last year, 2019, that he was going to retire from touring. So he was going to do this big farewell show at the original City Winery location.
Which we love going to City Winery in Chicago. So we're like, yeah, we're going.
We got tickets and we went. We went to see him. That was the last weekend in June, which is right around his birthday, as it turns out. And in fact, they had a birthday cake for him.
They did.
And it was a great show.
Such a great show.
All kinds of amazing artists showed up. Chuck Prophet was there. Laurie Anderson was there. Ivan Julian. And I'm forgetting all kinds of people.
Vernon.
My personal favorite, right. Vernon Reed from Living Color. Our seats were right by the stage. We sat down and I looked up at the stage and there were just some instruments on the stage and so forth. And I looked over and I said, "That's Vernon Reed's guitar. I recognize that guitar." And sure enough,
he came out.
He came out and played. Just a fantastic show. Garland's daughter sang a song. It was really wonderful. So that was the end of June, and we made a 4-day weekend out of that.
Is that the trip that we walked the Brooklyn Bridge?
Yes. Because
so we have a picture. So, ta-da, of the Brooklyn Bridge, walking across it was amazing. And then when we got to the end, we didn't really know where we were going, but we ended up in Dumbo.
Well, we knew we were going to Brooklyn.
We knew, yeah, but I didn't know.
Well, we didn't know exactly what
we got there.
What we were going to do. This is what we do when we go on vacations.
And this is a copycat because David took the picture first, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so cool! I'm going to take a picture too." So that's like one of my favorite pictures of all time of New York.
So and actually, you won't be able to see on video, but what's really cool about it? Okay, so this is the Manhattan Bridge. And inside this opening, you can see the Empire State Building in Manhattan. It's really a cool photo.
Yeah.
And like everybody takes this picture when they go to Dumbo. Dumbo, by the way, stands for Down Under the Manhattan Bridge Overpass. So that's what the acronym stands for.
And that's another tip.
It's like way hipper than we are.
Definitely. But one of the things that I think is great for us in going on vacation is we don't plan a lot of things, and we just kind of get up and go and figure out what we want to do. Right. And it always ends up turning out great because we just keep walking. If something doesn't work out, then we just keep going somewhere else. And so that was another great day. We ended up walking through there, and then we were kind of on the other side where you could see the water.
Right, the Brooklyn Bridge Park is there,
right.
And
mm-hmm.
You've probably seen pictures of the carousel right on the East River, and you can see, the skyline it's an incredible shot. You've got the Manhattan Bridge on one side of you and the Brooklyn Bridge on the other, and just this incredible vista of Manhattan. It's really cool, and just we're not really hip enough, to do that sort of thing.
We kind of are. But...
Well, we kind of are. And it was a long walk. I think we ended up walking about 10 or 15 miles that day.
I think we walked miles and miles every day.
Right.
We don't care because it's just kind of we're just there.
We were staying at the Hilton Garden Suites or whatever it was called in Tribeca on Avenue of the Americas, and we walked near Broadway. And so we walked down from there to the financial district.
Right.
And then we went around through, where City Hall is. And then, right sort of east of City Hall, there's this ramp that, for the pedestrian walkway across the bridge. And we're like, let's do it.
Let's just go.
Then we got to the other side and we went one way and we did a little mini tour of downtown Brooklyn. Then we went to the other way.
Because we were trying to find, I found a market or something like that. And I didn't know
that's right. I forgot about that.
ended up just to be a grocery
And
store.
the whole time, I'm taking pictures of every courthouse I see. So because
We were so
courthouse,
far away
yeah.
from where we needed to go, but it's
Yeah.
okay. And then we ended up finding the store that was on it, and I can't remember the name of it, but I was like thinking it was going to be like some fancy market. It was just a regular grocery
yeah,
store.
it was kind of small. Well, it was, and there was a little sit down cafe.
Yeah.
Where you could eat, but yeah, no, I can't
Not
remember the name
worth,
of it.
yeah, not worth that going the wrong direction, but it's okay. It ended up being out fine. Then we ended up going in November.
In November, my company typically, although with the global pandemic, everything's changing now. But we, in the past, had always had a sort of a gathering, a summit, they called it, in either late October or early November. So it was around November 6th last year. And it's typically on a Thursday. And so we all come in on Wednesday, typically Wednesday morning. There's some kind of an outing. We have a whole bunch of meetings on Thursday. And then typically everyone flies home. And someday I'll tell you the story of my tour through Queens on an earlier trip where I was on the way to the airport and needed to use the bathroom. But that's a whole different story.
That'll take another 15 minutes.
That's a 15-minute story, but it's very funny.
I'm going to make a note of that for the future episode.
Right. But so instead of having to do the trip and then rush to the airport and fly home on a Thursday night, we just decided to make a weekend of it.
So I had the first day again to myself because David was working, and we stayed near Times Square a little bit.
Right, because our office was in Times Square. Yeah, we were.
It was like 4 blocks from Times Square,
Right.
so I mean it was like not far.
Right.
So from where our hotel was, I want to say was at 6th Avenue. When you walked.
Yes, I think
So
so.
I just like walked to the corner, and then I just started walking. Maybe it was south, probably.
Probably.
And then
Did you turn left?
I did.
Yeah, you were going south.
And then I ended up having, I should have brought my little Darcy hat, but I'll do that next time. So there was like a little pop-up kind of like holiday thing. So I stopped in there. I ended up getting lunch at the Wagon Wheel, which was like pasta that you put in Parmesan cheese. Then after that, I just kept walking. And then all of a sudden I was like, what is this beautiful place? And it was Bryant Park. So obviously
And they were
if you've
starting
never
to
been there,
decorate for the holidays
they had
too.
probably 100 like little stores that are set up for the holidays and everything. And I just was like so excited because I was just like, what is this place? It's amazing. So I got to walk everything. I did go to Whole Foods there, which was amazing. And then we ended up seeing a show. We saw Dear Evan Hansen.
That was a different trip.
That was a different trip.
That was the May trip.
That was the May trip.
Right. That was the trip in May because I got the tickets for Christmas.
But we'll just kind of discuss some of the places that we went, which were amazing eats, and we'll share the ones. We could talk about that one.
Yeah, best sandwich I may have ever had, the Berkshire pork.
100% agree.
Berkshire pork banh mi at Keogh on Duane Street in Tribeca.
We every time we've gone, we've always gone to a Perfect Pint because there's always
Right.
one near a hotel that we're at, and
Right,
they
on
do have a
45th
Perfect
Street.
Pint, which was good. We went to a place called Emporium Brazil, which was across the street from our restaurant.
That's kind of Midtown East.
Amazing food.
Right.
We went to the Tic Tac Diner.
Biggest diner in New York City in the New Yorker Hotel.
We went
It's in
to
Midtown.
the
Oh,
first.
you got to mention the Wheel Tap.
Yeah, the
or
first time we
Irish
went
pub.
there, our flight got delayed, so we were very late, and we stopped by the Wheel Tapper pub and had the best burgers we've ever had.
That was great.
Yeah.
Hard to get in too. Angeletto's on 2nd Avenue, kind of Midtown East again because we spent a lot of time in that area.
Right. Don Antonio, is that where the pizza
Right,
place?
that's on 50th, right around Times Square.
But leave a comment below. We're almost running out of time. If you've ever been to New York, what your favorite places are. We would love to hear it, and we're going to tag a bunch of places. We'll see you next time.